Last time on Lost Judgment. Sorry! My bad!
RK? What does the acronym stand for?
Who the hell knows?
What the hell?
Stop it! Stop it!
Ha! Chop! Go to sleep!
You're gonna have to pry this town out of my hands!
Yeah! Oh, I love Kaito-san!
I do wish we'd had the time to work together, Kaito-san.
Some men can't wait to debase themselves at the first opportunity.
Why would you say that and look at me?
Could this mean they're actually linked?
But no true detective alive would pass it up.
Nope. Greetings, my beautiful viewers! I am the Hunter of Comedy, and welcome back to Lost Judgment. So, last time we had quite a number of things happen. We went and dealt with the RK gang, and they have decided to stay out of our business for now. Pretty sure we're not done with them, but, you know, at least they're being smart at the moment. We also met with the victim of the groping and concluded that it's quite possible she could have been involved with all of it in the first place. But we don't really have proof of that yet, so at the moment, that's about all we've got to go on. Alrighty, let's get back into it.
A previously unseen link is established between the groper and the victim. Charting out their relationship is akin to tracing a spider's web. But with each false thread ruled out, only the improbable truth remains. Ehara orchestrated the groping as a diversion, and by tarnishing his name, he secures both an alibi and his ultimate revenge.
Converging Heat, Chapter 6. Damn.
Hiro Mikoshiba's murder was sparked by the bullying of Toshiro Ehara, who committed suicide 4 years ago. The graphic video that hit the net showed the world how Toshiro's father, Akihiro Ehara, had brutally avenged his son. We also know the father had accomplices. On October 7th at 6:30 a.m., they forced Mikoshiba into a vehicle, took him to an abandoned building, and gravely injured him. Then, around 7:30 a.m., the time frame when Ehara killed Mikoshiba, the other conspirators were probably nearby, even though they weren't on camera.
Yeah.
At the same time, 30 kilometers away at Ikebukuro Station, a man who looks like Ehara is caught on camera. We'll call that guy the stand-in. The stand-in made sure he was in front of the cameras for more than an hour before boarding the 9:06 a.m. train, the same one Yui Mamiya was on. After committing sexual battery on that train, he meets the real Ehara in the camera's blind spot, and they change places. That's how he established a false alibi for Mikoshiba's murder. And to achieve this, the victim, Yui Mamiya, had to have been in on it from the start.
Yep.
Sure are a lot of people getting their hands dirty for Ehara. Mamiya, Ehara's stand-in on the train, the guys who kidnapped Mikoshiba.
Yeah.
How did some troubled cop manage to recruit so many allies?
That's a good question.
Well, one person that comes to mind who might be the key to all this is Yoko Sawa. She's a teacher at Seiryo High. She was the only adult Toshiro-kun ever told about the bullying, and she supervised Mikoshiba as a teacher before he disappeared. On top of that, she's a Kurokawa Academy graduate, same as Mamiya. Those trespassers at the murder scene were also from Kurokawa. Since they're all about the same age, it's possible they were all classmates.
So you're saying these classmates are also Ehara's murder accomplices?
Possibly.
If we consider Yokosawa the central link, that's very possible. We do know that as a teacher, she felt deep remorse for Toshiro-kun's suicide. Maybe she recruited her old classmates to help Ehara take his revenge.
Yeah, best not to rule that out. Though I'm hoping that's not the case.
Yeah.
Why's that?
It's just, she's a really good teacher. She's passionate, responsible. She's always putting the students first. I know she regrets the past. That a student died on her watch. And now another of her students, Mikoshiba, is found murdered. So if it turns out she's involved in that, I doubt I'll be able to trust my own judge of character ever again.
Yagami.
I'm going back to Ijincho tomorrow. The plan is to bring up Mamiya's name to Sawa-sensei and see how she reacts. Until then, let's not jump to conclusions about her involvement.
All right.
Can I chime in real quick? I was looking into Kurokawa Academy and I stumbled across something that may be relevant.
What's that?
What's that?
Ha! Hey!
Well, it happened 13 years ago, but there was an attempted suicide. A third year jumped off the school's roof after being thoroughly humiliated.
Bullying suicide from 13 years ago. Didn't Sawa-sensei mention that too? If I remember correctly, the student lived or remains in a coma to this day.
Actually, Sawa-sensei mentioned that. She said it was a boy in her class.
Right, that's gotta be the same case then. The student's name was Mitsuru Kusamoto. He's 30 now, but still in a coma.
Huh, and all that info's on the net?
It wouldn't be normally, but his mother happens to be vice minister of the Ministry of Health. Ever heard the name Reiko Kusamoto?
Oh my god. That may be how they're doing all of this, is because essentially they're all classmates, and basically when I don't know. Like, I feel like this is all connected. Like, somehow, for some reason, she's helping Ehara, but for what reason, I don't know. Like, you know, maybe he was friends with this kid? I'm not really sure.
Not once.
I have. It was on the news. They were talking about her and her son.
Vice Minister ranks above government officials, so this lady has quite a position of power at the Ministry of Health.
Well, do you remember the uproar in the health ministry when Vice Minister Ichinose got arrested?
Right, the villain from the last game.
Apparently, his successor couldn't contain the resulting chaos, which is when Kusamoto-san got tapped to lead. They couldn't afford another criminal scandal, so her promotion was out of the blue. She was a safe choice, a veteran with tenure and experience. Not to mention, her son's tragedy made people see her as a more sympathetic figure. Very popular. She's kind of a new generation heroine, so to speak.
Huh.
Is any of that relevant to the case at hand, though?
Who knows? But Reiko Kusamoto and Ehara both have children who were bullying victims. I don't think that's a connection we can afford to overlook, if you ask me.
Agreed.
Okay, so Kusamoto's son. What exactly happened to him?
Let's see. He was bullied by a fellow third year at his school, Shinya Kawai. The records say he harassed Mitsuru-kun every day, in and out of school. Well, one time he even stuffed dirty rags in his mouth.
That's so cruel.
Yeah, and the teacher was a real piece of work. Apparently he knew, but he just smirked and said, "Don't overdo it."
Oh, I remember now. The media pounced on that one hard.
If they were classmates, then both Sawa-sensei and Mamiya would know about this.
And maybe because they couldn't save Mitsuru-kun, their guilt left them open to Ehara's persuasion.
But to prove that, we'll have to hear from them directly. I'll talk to Sawa-sensei first thing tomorrow.
That'd be helpful. In the meantime, I'll be working on Ehara's appeal. It's clear they missed something important in the trial, since Ehara is apparently innocent of sexual battery, being that he was out committing murder at the time.
What started as a simple harassment case sure has blown up big.
Yeah, and likely he would have gotten away with it if he hadn't have been represented by Genda Law. Because then they wouldn't have gotten Yagami involved. I guess I'll head back to the office for today. Alrighty, heading back to the office then. Ooh, there's a purple guy. Hey, purple guy. Oh, dude, is that like a Nivo Ricci kind of character? Oh, fuck, this guy's fucking me up. Woo! Can't see anything. Oh no! Who the fuck is this guy? Got him! Woo! Oh yeah! This guy fucked me up though. Oh, are you kidding me? Wow. Damn, and I doubt I'll run into that guy again in the same spot. Shit, that's just embarrassing. Okay, it's not the same guy, but there's another purple guy here. Oh yeah, but he's nothing compared to the first one. Oh man. Slide into them DMs. I still love saying that.
And stay down.
Alright, made it back. I guess I'll just be resting then. Okay. Yay! Top off my health while I'm at it.
Wait a minute. What?
Yo, you took your sweet time. But I got the gist of it. You're going to Ijincho, right? To meet with Sawa-sensei?
Oh god, Kaito!
Kaito-san, you do realize that only I can meet her. You can't get into the school.
I know, but if you end up taking it off campus, can you at least call me this time?
Don't you understand the situation? Sawa-sensei might be tied to murder.
You sure you understand it? Come on, she would never do that.
That a fact?
So happens I'm a great judge of character. Especially when it comes to women.
God damn it, Kaito!
Sometimes I forget who I'm talking to.
Alright, Mr. Lucky Cat. Whoa, thanks for the money. Nice, nice. And now, oops, that was the wrong button. Now, we head back to Isesaki Jincho.
Well, first stop, it's gotta be Chinatown. Can't face Tsukumo on an empty stomach.
Never a dull day for you, huh, Kaito-san?
It's the selection, man. I've already worked out the math. I figure if I hit 4 or 5 places a day...
What? What's up?
Check that out. It's Akutsu.
Kamurocho thugs are looking pretty out of place here.
Yo! Akutsu! What are you fools doing in town? Hey! Don't ignore me! It's Kaito! Fancy seeing you here!
I'm kind of busy here, man. Catch you later.
That's super
What
suspicious.
an asshole. Ijincho's a long way from home. And he's traveling with a small army.
Would he have come all this way because of us?
Nah, we just caught him totally off guard. He's not out here for us. Gotta be something else.
But something's not right if they're just cruising around. It's gotta be an RK operation. He brought too many guys for it to be something more personal.
Yeah. Kamurocho streets can be tough. Maybe they gave up. Well, whatever they came out here to do, we ought to keep our noses the hell out of their business. But you better hustle. You're gonna be late for class. I'll catch you after school.
I should head to Seirio High School. Need to find out if Mamiya really has a connection to Sawa-sensei. Right. Wow, there's actual RK members just in town here I'm battling. Wonder why. Again, I get here in the morning, and yet it's nighttime. Well, not nighttime, but it's like, you know, like after school by the time I, like, you know, get into this. Oh, shoot, I went to the wrong floor. Damn it.
Oh, what is it, Yagami-san?
Sensei, do you have a minute?
I saw the video of Mikoshiba-kun.
So you did. That video, right?
Yeah.
I thought Ehara-san was convicted for a sex offense. How could he be in that video killing Mikoshiba-kun? But then that video looked so real.
Most likely it is. As you unfortunately had to witness, Ehara-san committed murder with his own two hands. Which means as far as the groping that day goes, there's some deception at work.
Deception?
Are you familiar with Ehara-san's victim in the case? Her name is Yui Mamiya.
I don't think I recognized her, no.
13 years ago, she attended Kurakawa Academy. Her maiden name is Yui Suzuki.
Yui Suzuki? Just a minute. Are you saying she was the one Ehara-san groped?
So you do know her then? Were you two classmates?
We were, in our 3rd year of high school.
I had a hunch. You didn't know she was the victim of that whole incident?
I mean, it's just so hard to believe.
Does this all seem like a wild coincidence to you then? Your old student's father gropes one of your high school classmates at a station with 3 million daily travelers.
What are you implying?
I'm saying your old friend Yui might be cooperating with Ehara-san, as in she only played the part of a victim. She might have even known it was all to hide a murder.
What? But why? Why would she do that for him?
She really doesn't know. She really doesn't seem to know any connection between Ehara and Mamiya. If this is all an act, then she's an amazing actress.
From where I'm sitting, Sensei, you're connected to Ehara and Yui Mamiya. I just need your help figuring out what that connection is.
Yagami-san, please. Are you implying I was some kind of liaison between them?
Well, Sensei, what was your relationship with Yui Mamiya? Were you close? Or would you say classmates covers it?
The two of us were never really that close. To be honest, I didn't really like the group of kids she hung out with. I guess you could say we didn't have the same interests.
When was the last time you saw her? Did you have a high school reunion by any chance?
They held a reunion around the time I graduated from college, but I didn't feel like going. That same class bullied a kid into jumping off the roof.
So if that's the case, you haven't seen any of your classmates since you all graduated from Kurakawa?
That's right.
Okay then. The thing is, Ehara-san and Mamiya are connected. It is kind of loose, but it's there. They have one thing in common.
What?
In both of their pasts, someone they knew was bullied to the point of attempting or committing suicide. Ehara-san lost his son, Toshiro-kun, and as for Yui Mamiya, it's her classmate, Mitsuru Kusamoto. That could be a factor, especially for Mamiya. It's possible that Ehara-san would be a sympathetic figure to her. Maybe enough to help construct an alibi for his revenge. It's possible she only played the part of a groping victim. What do you think? Does it have any merit, or is my theory full of holes?
Even if you're on the right track...
Sawa-sensei? We're just waiting on you to start the staff meeting.
Sorry, I'll be right there.
What happened 13 years ago at Kurakawa? That might be the last piece of the puzzle. What about Yui Mamiya? How'd she react when Mitsuru Kusamoto tried to kill himself by jumping off that roof?
I'm sorry, I'm already late for my meeting.
I'm trying to ask you about a murder here. To Ehara, every unanswered question is a victory for that man. He's only a step away from walking for it. And I know Mamiya had other conspirators. It took more than one person to murder Mikoshiba. They're still at large, even as we speak. I'll be honest. I came here today with the suspicion that you might be more involved in this murder than you're letting on.
A suspicion?
Nothing you've said has made me feel any better about it.
And what should I do about that, huh?
I just want you to tell me, how are Ehara-san and Mamiya connected beyond what I've already figured out? I think you have the key to that answer, even if you don't know that you're the one holding it.
It's crucial. I mean, I'm going to say it right now. I think my theory is that they bullied the kid who jumped. And that this woman essentially approached Ehara after his son committed suicide. Like, you know, as a way of trying to maybe hurt him. I don't know. God damn, it's so complex. I can't figure it out.
It's like a lock. And until I figure out how to get through it, I'm gonna keep picking at it.
I told you, I'm late for a meeting.
I'll be here when you get back. Have a good meeting.
Suit yourself.
Oh no. I have a bad feeling. It's not going great, but at least I've learned she was classmates with Mamiya. I'll take the wins where I can get them. Saori-san will want to hear that too. You know, I come here, I get info, I leave. This is just like how the school works. Pretty soon, probably in the next episode or two, we'll go back to doing the school stories for like an episode or two. But like, you know, I'm so enthused by this mystery right now, like I can't take a break from it. Oh yeah, I was gonna tell Saori-san about Sawa-sensei and Mamiya.
Hey, Saori-san? It's Yagami.
Hey, did you manage to talk to Sawa-sensei?
Yeah, turns out she really was in Mamiya's class. And they were both aware of the suicide incident with their classmate.
Good to know. While we're on the topic, Hoshino-kun got his hands on some new info.
Let's hear it.
The bully at Kurokawa High was named Shinya Kawai. He transferred out right after Mitsuru-kun jumped, as if he were running away. Once he came of age, it looks like he worked here in Kamurocho.
Wow. You really can find a lot online.
Yes, and to top it off, Kawai earned a reputation for talking about how he drove a classmate to suicide. Like he's proud of
The
it.
fuck?
Maybe he thought he'd get a laugh in Kamurocho.
Probably would.
Kawai was more or less a Yakuza, though he never swore into it. I just sent you his picture. It was taken 5 years ago.
Oh my god.
What? This guy?
Holy shit! Like, I was literally just thinking, wait, it's probably that guy, the guy who was the owner of the girls' bar.
You recognize him?
And they said that he died 5 years ago.
Not too long ago, some RK punks came asking his whereabouts. Said he was a girls' bar manager who went missing.
Yeah, it looks like he did work at a girls' bar. But we don't know which one.
Okay, so the guy's definitely suspicious. What business would RK have with him?
Do you know if they ever found him?
No. But their leader, Soma, said something about Kawai having already been killed. Like he just vanished from Kamurocho a few years ago, and that was it.
Wait, he was killed?
Uh-huh. Kinda gives me deja vu now that I think about it. Here you have Kawai and Mikoshiba, two known school bullies. And they both end up murder victims?
Yeah.
That could be for a number of reasons. It's not rare for people to disappear in Kamurocho. Usually the trouble is money or women. Maybe that was the case for Kawai.
Could be.
Okay. We'll investigate Kawai a bit more on our end. With RK asking around, word on the street will be loud enough to hear.
So I just have to say something, cause I remember what they said. They said that, pardon me, Ehara said that this goes deeper than like Yagami knows. I wonder if possibly Ehara helped the ministry lady, the one whose son is in a coma. I wonder if he helped her in some way murder, like, you know, his, like him, like, you know, the bully of her son. And now he came back years later asking for the same favor. Either that or she approached him offering to return the favor, and that this is a thing they've done before. Huh. I wonder.
How was it, Saori-san? What did Yagami-san have to say?
He said he recently ran into some RK members looking for Shinya Kawai.
Did he?
He also said RK later told him Kawai had been killed.
This is getting scarier with every new lead.
Now that you mention it, I have seen people getting stopped and asked about someone all over town. But if those were RK on the hunt for Kawai, could it have something to do with our case as well?
Putting aside the connection between Mikoshiba and Kawai, why is RK suddenly so involved?
I'm honestly not sure how RK could be involved in all this. I'm going out for a bit, Hoshino-kun. Do me a favor and keep digging up what you can on Kawai.
Wait, what?
Sometimes you have to get out in the field. It can't just be Yagami-san all the time.
Oh! We're playing as Saori!
You don't mean you're going straight to RK for some answers?
What else would I be doing? I need to know why they were looking for Kawai.
Then I'm coming with. I can't just let you do that alone.
Don't worry. It's still light out, and I plan on staying in the open. Besides, if I'm alone, they'll be more eager to talk.
That may be, but still, I'll just call you about every 10 minutes then. For your safety.
I find that rather unnecessary.
You sure?
Wow, it's interesting to be playing as Saori. Then again, we played her a little bit in the minigame. First, you need to find some RK members. Unlike Yakuza, they're hard to identify by appearance alone. But no worries, in times like these, it's good to know the owner of Tender. He's well connected. The Bartender! I love this place! This is Bartender, the first place Yagami worked at when he arrived in the city. The owner, Joe Masuda, always has his ear to the ground. I'm sure I could ask him where I could meet some RK members. Oh, and that's the lady from the gambling parlor.
Oh, is that Saori-chan I see? To what do I owe this pleasure?
Nice to see you too.
Oh, hi. Say, aren't you one of Talk's lawyer friends? Does that mean he's on his way too?
It's just me today.
Fine by me. That means you and I get some girl talk time.
Oh, yeah. Christina V. Oh, God. Like, I'm still sad because seeing her reminds me of Blackjack, and I don't know if I'm going to get to play Blackjack in this game, guys.
That stings, Mari. And here I thought I had a place in your heart.
Well, no one knows a lady's heart like a bartender. I guess you can stay.
Two of them sure keep up with each other. But if I'm gonna ask questions, I better order a drink.
Let's see.
All these bottles got you feeling lost? Care for a few pours from Tox? It'll be our secret. Besides, a man with his tab can't complain.
You're too kind. So I'm actually here to ask you, how can I set up a meeting with RK?
Darn. So this wasn't a pleasure call? Well, I'm glad you're at least enjoying the drink.
True. And looking fancy doing it.
Oh, please. You two are going to embarrass me.
My apologies. I suppose being surrounded by such beauties has a timeless appeal, even at my age.
I'll second that. Masuda here is looking at least a year younger.
Was that supposed to be a compliment?
Of course. If you got any younger, you'd be much too handsome. What's a girl to say?
And I'll second that.
Oh no, this isn't good. Getting so relaxed, I might forget about work.
Anyhow, if you're after an RK rendezvous, the good news is those guys are everywhere. But it's not like a civilian can just stroll up and ask, "Hey, are you RK?" and expect to get an answer.
You got that right. and Saori-chan needs to ask them something that's kind of sensitive. Oh, that's certainly going to make things challenging.
Just a bit, yeah.
So I say, why not let the boys do the chasing? Wouldn't be hard for an enchantress like you.
Indeed.
But honey, we need to do something about your look. Some nice clothes and a little makeup, and you'd be unstoppable.
Saori-san is beautiful the way she is. How dare? How dare?
Finally, my turn to second something.
I suppose I would need to look approachable.
Talk told me once that if you ever felt like it, Saori-chan, you could put every hostess in Kamurocho to shame.
It's true, but she doesn't have to change a damn thing to do that.
I've got to admit, I'm curious.
Well, a good hawk hides her talons.
You're saying I should dress like a hostess for this?
Well, I'm sure there are other ways. But if you want a foolproof plan to snag an RK, you've got one.
Oh, if you want, I can get you some looks. And you can choose what you like.
I get the message. And I suppose I'll take you up on that.
Okay, then leave the rest to me.
I knew it! Gotta go with her signature hairstyle. I just want to see. Wow. But, you know, Saori-san isn't Saori-san without that. Ooh, yeah, there we go. Got some glasses. Okay, so now you guys have seen my playthrough of Yakuza 0 with my friend. And you know the whole joke we had with the cross earrings. Bye, Jesus! Ooh, that looks nice. I like it. Oh, wow, that's nice. Oh! Oh, yeah, we'll go with that. I like that, actually. Nice. I'm glad I don't have to pay for any of these. Ah, yes. I have finished! 4,000 SP for that.
Oh, well, would you look at that? Doc was right on the money. I couldn't have imagined.
You sure about that, Mari-san? I hardly feel comfortable wearing this in front of you.
What are you saying? You're so pretty.
I wouldn't say so.
Really? You're dynamite. Though, there is one thing that's missing.
What's that?
Pride. That's the final touch you need. Pride in your own beauty.
Well, I'm not sure I have that.
Then how about your pride as a lawyer? You have that, don't you?
As a lawyer?
Yes. There it is. Go ahead and take a look. Now that's the face of the girl who gets the man she wants.
It's been a while since I've felt this way. I have you to thank for that.
These bad boys won't know what hit them. Now, let's go dangle the bait.
You mean us, right?
You bet. Two nightlife girls like us alone on the street literally brings the RK boys running.
Oh.
Especially along Senryo Avenue. Why don't we take a walk?
All right, let's do it.
Are you sure? I don't want to drag you into this.
Are you kidding? And miss the chance to see this makeover in action? But really, I want you to succeed. I promise I won't be a bother.
Time to walk down Senryo Avenue. If arcade guys approach us, we'll reel them in. Then I can ask about Shinya Kawai. See what they found out so far. All right.
What's
Oh, okay, good.
happening?
Damn, Saori-san! Like, here's the thing. Like, Saori-san is good enough on her own. She don't need nothing else. But I'm not gonna deny that she looks damn pretty. I mean, I also put her in this outfit, so, you know. Everyone's like, oh! Sorry. Saori-san got that swagger, she do.
Excuse me, ladies. You, get lost on the way to the beauty pageant?
Oh, God, no. No. Oh, ow, that hurts.
We're already out for a drink. Maybe heading to work somewhere in town?
Oh, we're just two girls bar hopping by our lonesome. Isn't that right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, in that case, why don't you roll with us? I know a great place. You could drink all you want.
Wow, you guys loaded or something? We can throw them back, you know. You sure?
Did Jesus tell you to say that? I'm sorry. Looking at the earrings, I can't help but quote all the things the Sandman did in Yakuza 0.
Hell yeah. There's a place my buddy runs. He'll be thrilled to see some ladies like you.
Their RK might be a good take them up on their offer, but how can I know for sure?
You rugged boys are just my type, actually. But are you really that into older girls?
Me? I'm your type for real?
Oh, what happened to your nose? That bandage makes you look so tough and masculine. What's gotten into me? I am such a mess tonight.
One too many, Saori-chan?
Don't worry, Saori-chan. I love a hot mess. I'm one myself.
Now while their guard is down.
Let's be real here. You're RK.
What makes you say that?
Yeah. What kind of chick straight up at?
Oh, damn it.
Come on, it was just an innocent question. Anyone worth a damn in this city's gotta be RK. And when you spot one, you just... how should I say it? There's a certain vibe to you guys, you know?
True. Guess we do got that RK swag.
I mean, yeah. We're just out here playing the game, you know? And we ain't bad at it either. You gotta have a brain to work this town. So, if you ladies gotta choose us. We know how to get ours.
Nice, Mari-san. Got them wrapped around your finger.
You boys certainly talk a good game. RK knows what's up, huh?
Right? You must be pretty high up the RK ladder then, huh? Not just the local chumps?
Not supposed to be blurting it out, but yeah. We're RK. And pretty high up, too.
Shoot. RK wouldn't be what it is now without us.
Bullshit!
Never thought it'd get this big either.
Looks like this went well. I knew they had to be with RK. All I have to do is ask them about Shinya Kawai. How were they looking for him?
RK has Kamurocho pretty much wrapped around its finger now, huh?
Just about. Time of the Yakuza laying down the law is over. All that respect and chivalry shit. Dead, like all the old legends.
I mean, just in Kamurocho, I guarantee you the Yakuza aren't gone. Like, they'll never be gone. They'll just evolve their ways.
Now the underground world is a jungle. Winning the fight's all that matters.
Wow, must be hard. But I think that's hot.
That reminds me. Weren't you RK guys looking for someone recently? A man who disappeared a few years ago?
Oh yeah, him. We were looking for this dude who ran a girls' bar.
See? I knew you guys would know what that's about.
Oh well. 5 years ago, he suddenly disappeared. But that's not even news in Kamurocho.
That's so crazy, though. What happened to him? You ever end up finding the guy?
Nah, didn't work out. No surprise, he was just a punk anyway. Name was Kawai. Way I heard it, some of his old friends rolled up on him one night. My guess is, was trouble from another town catching up to him. Anyway, they argue for a bit, and it ends with the guy getting shoved into a van. And that's the last time anyone saw the dude.
Oh, I was fucking right!
Whoa. What do you think happened?
I'm thinking they bumped him off. If he was still breathing, he'd be back by now. I heard he never even picked up his final paycheck. I guess he's fish food now. Or they buried him on some remote-ass mountain.
You have any idea who would have done that to him?
Don't know. They say it was 10 or so people. Young, both men and women. Doesn't sound like a gang thing. Who knows, right? It was 5 years ago.
Group of civilians shoved Kawhi into a van, and they were old acquaintances? Could have been classmates from Kurokawa Academy? No, I'm just rushing to conclusions.
But if you heard all that, there must have been witnesses, right? So you're saying someone actually saw him get shoved in a van?
Yep. Some chick working at his bar saw it all go down. At least that's what we heard from a guy who heard it from that chick.
Where is this bar anyway?
You mean some random dive bar half a decade ago? Who the hell knows? 100 places have sprung up and gone under since.
But then, why would anyone be looking for Shinya Kawai now? Did someone ask RK to find him? Think that's right?
Hell if I know. It's a question for the top of the food chain. But hold on a sec. Can I ask you something?
Huh?
Just a minute ago, you mentioned a Shinya Kawai. How'd you know his full name when we never told you?
Ah, shit.
Oh, shit!
You're only talking to us because you wanted dirt on Kawhi. So who the hell are you?
What do you think you're doing?
Who sent you?
I don't know you a name.
I wouldn't even give you my name. Now let go. Threats and violence aren't going to work on me.
Oh, what have we here? Got ourselves a bad bitch all of a sudden. Too bad she can't keep her hand from shaking.
That's just the excitement talking.
Big talk for a chick dressed to the nines to get info. Huh? Sorry, Chan?
Yeah. You even try to fuck with us, lady!
Sorry, Chun!
Huh? What the?
Higashi!
Beat it, punk.
Yeah! I knew it was him the second I saw him!
Asshole!
Fuck yeah! Go Higashi! I love this guy.
I swear, these jerks are popping up like roaches. No thanks needed. Just be careful on your own, especially when you're beautiful.
Thank you so much, Higashi-san.
I just said you don't... Wait, how'd you know my name?
It's me, Shirosaki, from Genda Law Office. It's been a while.
Holy shit! No way!
Okay, that's the perfect reaction. I love it.
Man, I didn't realize. Shirosaki-sensei. I didn't recognize you. You look incredible.
Charles Arcade Manager, Toru Higashi. He's cool.
You're the one who is incredible. This is all my fault. I was the one who put Mari-san in danger. You really saved us.
Young, strong, handsome. That's 3 out of 3 for me.
Oh!
Those guys were RK. Town's practically overrun with them these days.
Toru Higashi-san, former Matsugane family member of the Tojo clan. He's like a brother to Kaito, and he knows Yagami-san too. He runs his arcade full-time and apparently still keeps up with his Yakuza fashion trends. I mean, he looks good, so, you know.
If you'd like, I can escort you somewhere safe. I got nothing but time on my hands.
Oh, you don't say. Perfect. Who says we can't still salvage some fun out of tonight?
I would be so stoked if he and Mari hooked up. He deserves a class act like her, man. And, you know, if she likes, you know, him for who he is, then yeah, go for it, man.
Oh, before we do that, let me call Yagami-san.
Shinya Kawai was bullied 13 years ago. He vanished from Kamurocho when he was abducted by a group in a van. Seems like they were all people he knew, and it's possible they were his classmates from Kurokawa Academy.
Yagami's still a jackass, I see. When Shirosaki-sensei calls, you pick up in 2 rings.
It is strange that he's not picking up. I'll try again.
Oh no, something must have happened. Oh.
Wait, killed?
Uh-huh. Kinda gives me deja vu now that I think about it. Here you have Kawai and Mikoshiba, two known school bullies, and they both end up murder victims?
That could be for a number of reasons. It's not rare for people to disappear in Kamurocho. Usually the trouble is money or women. Maybe that was the case for Kawai.
Could be.
Okay, we'll investigate Kawai a bit more on our end. With RK asking around, word on the street will be loud enough to hear.
Alright, thanks.
I guess I'll wait for Sawa-sensei. Still a lot of time before the faculty meeting ends. A message from Amasawa. Yagami-san, one of my underclassmen wants to talk to you. Could you come to the club room again after class if it's not too much trouble? No problem. Oh, Amasawa wants to talk about her underclassmen? Well, I've got time. May as well go see what it's about. And yeah, there might be some new jobs over at Tsukumo's office, too. Still a bit before the faculty meeting ends. I should kill time elsewhere. Alrighty. So I guess I'm killing some time. I guess it's genuinely encouraging me to go do side quests.
Yagami-san.
Yagami-san, thank you for coming.
Amasawa.
Hey, Amasawa. What is it you wanted to ask me? Well, it's a rather long story. This is a good time? Let's hear what she has to say. Once you start the side case, everything else we put on hold until you clear it. Proceed? Yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure thing. After all, I am the MRC's outside counselor.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. So, this is about my classmate. Actually, I should go get him. Be right back.
Yoroshiku.
Nice to meet you. I'm Hisayoshi Shimada, a second year. I'm Yagami, the MRC's advisor. Nice to meet you.
Hey.
So, what exactly do you need help with?
Well,
Yagami-san, do you believe in things like curses?
What was that?
I'm sorry, what?
well...
Just a preface, this case is gonna sound either mysterious or ridiculous, depending on your answer.
So...
I know it's gonna sound crazy, but please, you have to believe me. Now just tell me what's going on first. Then, we'll see how it ranks with all the crazy things I've heard. Curse of the Amasawa family heirloom, holy shit!
Hey.
Would you mind starting us off, Shimada-kun? So, it's about this lucky cat I have at home. A lucky cat? Being one of those statues of the cat waving its paw? Or like an actual cat?
Yes.
The former, yes. They said it'd bring good fortunes, so you can spot them in all sorts of businesses. There are quite a few kinds. Most of them are said to bring good luck, but black lucky cats are supposed to ward off bad luck in particular.
Oh.
Huh. Didn't know how they got that specific. Thing is, my lucky cat didn't do any of that. What did it do? Is it possessed by a ghost or something? I'm concerned. It doesn't bring money or luck, it attracts tragedies. Tragedies? Ah! Here it is. It looks pretty old. My dad bought it from an antique dealer friend of his. Usually, they're really expensive, especially the pre-war ones like this. His dad's friend warned him at the time. This cat brings more bad luck than good. Yeesh, so why'd your dad buy the thing if it's supposed to be cursed? He collects all sorts of rarities, especially the stuff with interesting stories. He goes nuts for those. Sounds like an interesting guy. But yeah, a lucky cat that brings more bad luck than good, I admit, that's an intriguing hook. And Yagami-san, the curse, or whatever it is, evidence is starting to pile up, making it seem real bad.
Well...
Ever since acquiring that statue, the Shimadas have been through one ordeal after another.
What was that?
Like what? The unlucky cat. Like, some pretty scary stuff. My dad got a really high fever all of a sudden, and was touch and go for a bit. Our house caught on fire, too. Jesus! Wow. Potential arson and serious illness? You weren't kidding. That's scary stuff. My grades keep slipping ever since my dad bought the thing. I never dropped below 10th place before this. Is this really the statue's fault, though? Well, you sure can't blame me for the ghost. One woke up my dad in the middle of the night standing right next to his bed.
Huh?
A ghost did? He was dressed like an old-timey soldier. totally pale. Just stood there like he was at attention. Kept on moaning, "Give me back my cat." My dad thought he was dreaming, so he rolled over and went back to sleep.
Does that mean...
So it was just a dream?
Yeah.
I don't know, but the next day, that's when he started feeling awful. Like he's been cursed or something.
I see.
I see. Well, that would be unsettling, even if it was just a string of coincidences. My dad's still not out of the woods, now that he's healthy either. He almost got run over by a car a couple of days ago. Still going on? Huh, this isn't really sounding like coincidence anymore. I don't know what it could be. At this point, it's probably safer to consider the misfortune inevitable. That may help us determine the cause before any irreversible damage is done. I'm telling you, it's the cat! Why even keep it?
Excuse me.
Here's a question, if you're also creeped out by it, why don't you just throw it out? It's my dad, he refuses to get rid of it. He says the previous owner was a famous author who met his demise because of the statue. Then why would you keep it? More reason to get rid of it, Jeezums!
What?
So the statue was cursed even back then? Yeah. My dad said the guy died when he hit his head on it.
Are you serious?
Oof. That is quite the story. Apparently his whole fan base is obsessed with the statue. That's why it's considered really valuable despite the curse. Who's the author, by the way? Well, Kitan Amasawa. He was a mystery novelist, and my grandfather.
Huh?
Nani? Your grandfather? Oh, you said hitting his head on the statue. Oh, Kitan Amasawa. So, this was the actual cat that, you know...
Yes.
Well, if only... I didn't... Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't read that. My bad, hold on. Well, only if this is truly the same, the exact same statue my grandfather owned. So you don't know if this is the actual one? Well, my grandfather has been missing ever since he passed away. About 7 years. How do you go missing since you passed away? How does that happen? Shortly after he died, my grandmother pawned it off. She always thought it was rather creepy. Good on her!
I see.
I see. Can you tell from this picture if it was the same one as your grandfather's? It's hard to tell just from the photo. This was also 7 years ago. I see. I do remember that the cat was cursed even back then. My grandfather was somewhat of a rarities collector himself. Of course, he jumped on the chance of owning the one-of-a-kind, unlucky cat. Kitan Amasawa was famous for his somewhat bizarre tales of mystery. I could definitely imagine him wanting a statue like that. My grandfather was quite taken with it. He bragged about it quite a bit, even when I was little. But I'm sure he never imagined his life ending because of his unlucky cat. Jeezums. A lucky cat that took the life of Amasawa's grandfather 7 years ago, and it's back, wreaking havoc for another family. Yagami-san, I'm not one to believe in the supernatural. All mysteries must be approached rationally, no matter how unusual they present themselves. That's what I firmly believe. Because logic is always found at the corner of any... true core of any mystery. I can read! Right.
That being said...
But that's also why my grandfather's unexpected death struck me the past... stuck with me the past 7 years. I assume the police ruled it was accidental, right? If that's the case, it kind of sounds pretty explained. No, actually, on the night my grandfather passed away, I also experienced a strange event. One that has no rational explanation, and could only be considered a supernatural phenomenon. Well, I mean, as Kiryu, we did see, like, the cursed videotape in Yakuza 7. I'm pretty sure, like, I know I did that side quest. I'm pretty sure that we did that side quest, too. My friend and I, you know, like a Sandman and I. I'm pretty sure we did.
What?
Really? What happened? I'm sorry. I'm not sure how to explain it. Let's just focus on finding out if this is actually the same cat or not first.
Gotcha.
Sure, we can do that. Rare for Amasawa not to have the words. But this could be the actual statue that took her grandfather's life. I can see why it'd be tough to talk about. Yagami-san, I'm getting to the bottom of this case one way or another. If something's causing all the tragedies around this cat, there's a good chance more will occur. I don't want anything as awful as what happened to my grandfather to happen to anyone in the Shimada family. Makes sense to me. After all, we're all about preventing incidents before they take place.
Yes.
Right. And not only that, this case is personal. Amasawa.
Yagami-san.
So, Yagami-san, would you please help me get to the bottom of this?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. The MRC's advisors got your back.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Well, to start with the investigation, first things first, I'd like to see the statue in person.
Yes.
Good idea. Shimada-kun, do you think your father would mind showing it to us?
So.
Oh, yeah. I bet he'd be over the moon to have one of Kitana Amasawa's descendants confirm this statue's the real deal. I'll give him a call now. He says, yeah, he'd love to meet you guys, in fact. Good to hear. Where should we meet him? I asked him to meet us at a cafe near the station, Plage. Oh, I remember that. It should be faster than getting him signed in at the school's reception and everything. Is that okay? Yeah, it's fine. Would have felt bad asking him to come all the way here anyway. Well, I'll make my way to the cafe now. Let's meet out front. Right.
Yagami-san.
See you soon, Yagami-san. Alright, go to the cafe!
That way?
Yes, that way. Are you following me? She's following me! I have a stalker! Save me! Ah!
Yagami-san, would you say that you tail people off?
Yes.
I mean, it's a big part of the job.
Do you have any tips for avoiding the target's suspicion? I tend to get made fairly quickly when tailing.
What's an average high schooler tailing people for anyway?
I just can't help myself when I pick the lead.
Kind of dangerous when you don't know your target, don't you think?
But in the end, isn't it worth it if I can prevent an incident?
No, not if it's something that puts your own life at risk.
I somehow hadn't considered that.
What? I somehow hadn't considered that. Why would you not? Where is Plage? I don't remember where Plage is. There's Plage. Oh my god, it's a distance. Oh my god, and I can't use my skateboard. And traffic is here. I am leading a young girl into traffic. Screw it. Run. Hello, gentlemen. It is time to kick ass and take names. Get back, Amasawa. I shall deal with these miscreants. Die! Hiya! That guy's face looks like, ow. Like I hurt him a lot.
What a waste.
Yay! We go! Where are we going? I have forgotten where we're going. This way! I was going the right way!
Anyway, I had no idea you had such a famous grandfather.
Are you surprised?
No. If anything, it's obvious that you're his granddaughter.
Well, now I'm feeling the pressure.
As a descendant of Kitan Amasawa, you should become the kind of detective that make him proud.
For that to be possible, I need to take on as many cases as possible to hone my instincts.
But what if you blundered into a case and ended up making a fool of yourself? Would that make Grandpa proud?
The more I hold back, though, the more curious I get. Once I've caught a whiff of a mystery, the Amasawa blood in me starts pumping.
It's quite a burden you wound up inheriting.
Yeah, probably got it from her grandfather. But, I mean, that's people. I mean, like, even though there are some things I don't like about my grandfather, which I've mentioned in, you know, previous videos, one thing I can say for certain, just to finish the thought, is that I have a lot of my grandfather in me. My grandfather was very charismatic. He, like, you know, you go to a restaurant and everything, he knew how to make everyone laugh and smile, and I know that I have some of his charisma. But, like, I see a lot of myself, like, you know, that I got from my grandfather. Even some of my more, like, negative tendencies and everything, you know. So, yeah, there are some things we inherit from our, you know, ancestors that, like, you know, while, like, you know, may not be the best, can be good in certain circumstances. Oh, Yagami-san. Amasawa-senpai. Oh, you're Kitan Amasawa Sensei's grandchild, right?
It's a pleasure.
Yes, nice to meet you. I'm Kyoko Amasawa.
Domo.
Shimada. Mikio Shimada. My son told me about you. Thank you for being such a good senpai to him. I must say, I'm surprised seeing you for the first time. You definitely have the Amasawa blood in you. You're like a heroine ripped straight out of one of his novels. I can already tell you're not just a nice face. You're as smart as a whip, too, aren't you?
Huh?
Oh, really? Come on, Dad, cut it out. Oh, my apologies. Oh, and who's this with you?
It's Yagami.
I'm Takayuki Yagami, outside counselor for the Mystery Research Club. I'm primarily a detective in Kamurocho. Oh, a genuine detective! This is getting better. The seasoned private eye trawling the seedy underbelly of the city with his wonderkind teen sidekick. Man, I heard he want to buy the whole series. I'm really sorry about my dad. Let's head inside. Huh? Yeah. Kind of embarrassing, yeah. So, for the mystery at hand, may we see the unlucky cat statue?
Yeah.
Yes, of course. Here. Ah! That is the freakiest looking thing ever! So, this is it. I brought it to a taping of a TV appraisal show a few days ago. They couldn't determine whether or not it belonged to Kitan Amasawa, though. But if it turned out to be the real deal, it's supposed to be worth 2 million yen.
Huh?
What? 2 million yen?
Yeah.
I mean, considering its legacy, it's basically the holy grail of his fan base. But still, 2 million?
Amasawa.
Do you think you could tell if it's actually your grandfather's Amasawa? Please, feel free to inspect it. In this case, allow me. Oh, this deep red stain.
No way.
Is that from your grandfather? Oh, no, it's from where I splashed ketchup on it.
What?
What? Ketchup? Yeah, I've been eating a hot dog in his study. I was also going the route Yagami was, of just like, ooh, blood, oh no. Well, eating may not be accurate, more like swinging it around like a sword. I was really into this historical drama at the time. My grandfather and I watched it together. Sounds like you were quite a little hellion as a kid.
That being said...
The stain. I don't know if anything else could make it clearer to me that this was my grandfather's statue. Woohoo! I knew it!
Yeah.
We could get millions for this? Seriously? Wow, talk about the score of a lifetime.
Excuse me.
Sorry if this question comes off a bit strange, sir, but I must ask. Does this statue ever make noise? Maybe like a meow? Does my cat statue meow? What makes you ask?
Well,
the thing is, on the night my grandfather died 7 years ago, I heard it. This cat, it meowed at me. Are you serious? Amasawa, is this the supernatural phenomenon you referred to before?
yes.
Hey, can you give us more details? Sorry, I know this must be hard. No, I understand. We have to do it for the case. This is the first time I've seen Amasawa like this. The incident 7 years ago.
Amasawa.
You said your grandfather's death was ruled an accident. Was there even a slight chance this was actually a crime?
Yes.
The police came and checked out the scene, but they said they couldn't find anything suspicious. Besides, it happened in a locked room. A locked room murder. Not only was the door to the study inaccessible, but the crescent locks on all the windows were still secure. Locked room death and a cursed statue. Sounding more and more like one of Kitan Amasawa's books. What's a crescent lock? They're the most common kind of window lock in homes. For a reason. They get the job done. I doubt the windows were a point of entry for anyone that night. Oh, okay. Since police didn't see any signs of break-in or even a struggle, they really had no recourse but to rule the death an accident. So it's doubtful this was a burglary gone wrong. Afterwards, the unlucky cat creeped out the whole family, enough that my grandmother pawned it off. Unsurprising, the family lost track of the statue after that, so I never expected to see it again like this. Statues meow.
Amasawa.
So you're saying you definitely heard the meow of a cat on the night your grandfather died?
Yes.
Yeah, I have no doubt. I believe it was around 1:30 in the morning. Woke up in the middle of the night to get a glass of water and passed by my grandfather's study. That was when I heard a meowing sound coming from the room. Did your grandparents have a pet cat, or maybe it was a stray outside the window?
No.
No, they didn't have any cats. I definitely would have known if a stray had gotten in. With Rompo in the yard, no cats could have gotten by without him barking up a storm. And I distinctly remember the sound of being loud enough to come from the room, not from outside the house.
Seriously?
Creepy.
Well...
What's even creepier is I can remember my grandfather telling me more than once. When that cat cries, misfortune comes calling.
What was that?
What? I was given strict orders to never approach the study if I ever heard a cat meowing in there. That's why, once I heard the cat, I ran back to my room and hid, terrified. And the next day, my grandfather was... That must have been so hard. If I'd just been brave enough to go into the room instead of running, I could have... Maybe I could have prevented my grandfather from dying.
Hey.
7 years ago, you were only about 11, right? Don't blame yourself for being scared. Yeah. Truly, our field detective can solve incidents before they occur. Wonder if her grandfather's own incident had anything to do with Amasawa taking that saying so seriously. Shimada-san, thank you for going out of your way to help us today. Oh no, it's my pleasure. You find any clues? Maybe even a lead now? Unfortunately, I'm not so sure. Look out! Whoo! What the? Are you okay? I'm so sorry. I guess it wasn't secured all the way.
It can't be.
What's that? The unlucky cat?
Unbelievable.
No way. Dad, please. What's it gonna take for you to get rid of the statue? Even I'm starting to get freaked out by this. Well, we should get home. Thanks again for today.
Excuse me.
Actually, sir. Yes?
Please and thank you.
Would you mind leaving the statue with us for a while? What? Leave it with you?
Yes.
Yes, until we debunk the curse. But aren't you worried? The curse is starting to look pretty real deal to me. My grandfather once says curses only blight their believers. Did he now? Yes. He also said you must never succumb to the marvel of a mystery. You must keep your wits about you. Despite my age, he imparted his philosophy of mystery solving to me before his death, and I hold the truths he shared with me in the highest regard. As Kitan Amasawa's grandchild, I cannot back down to these strange events and turn away from a genuine mystery. I refuse to believe in this curse. Therefore, it will have no effect on my pursuit of the truth. But still, not only that, this is a mystery that needs solving by an Amasawa. Oh, Amasawa-san. When I heard that meow 7 years ago, I ran from the truth, and the result was absolutely horrible. I'll never make the same mistake again. Okay. If that's the case, I'll leave it to you. Please find a way to break the curse, before something bad happens again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Excuse me.
By the way, I heard that you bought the statue from a friend who runs a second-hand shop. Which one would that be? Ebisu Pawn in Ijincho. Ebisu Pawn, got it. I'll go speak with him now. Thanks again. Amasawa's really into this case. Guess I shouldn't be surprised, considering. Well, I should keep up my advising efforts for her on this one.
I'm coming with you.
I figured you probably were. Alrighty, to Ebisu Pawn!
Yagami-san, you're going to...
I am not! You're going too slow! Woo! Ha ha! Okay, that was fucking cool.
Excuse me.
Hello, is this a bad time? I'm from the Yagami Detective Agency, Takayuki Yagami. We'd like to ask you a few questions.
Oh.
Oh, detective?
It's a pleasure.
I'm his assistant, Kyoko Amasawa. You're his assistant? A high schooler? Is there a problem?
Yeah.
No, not particularly. What is it you wanted to ask? We're looking into this Lucky Cat statue for Mikio Shimada-san. He says he knows you? Ah, this is for Shimada-san? Would you mind if I ask, how did you first come to acquire the statue? This pawnbroker friend of mine closed up his shop, so I bought his remaining inventory. He couldn't vouch for the statue's authenticity, though. Well, we know it's the real thing now, but we won't fill him in on that. It might make things a mess. You don't happen to know who sold the cat to your friend originally, do you? Sorry. Told me it had been passed around a bunch before it ended up in his shop. You didn't know any specifics about it. Probably why he couldn't authenticate the thing. I see. Thanks anyway. Well, one last question. This might sound odd, but when you still had the statue in the shop, did anything strange ever happen here?
Eh?
Strange? You mean the curse? Nah, I didn't buy into that stuff. Nothing ever happened to me. Nothing ever happened here to make me change my mind either. Nothing at all? You sure? Nope. The guy I got the statue from never mentioned anything of the sort. Although I suppose he might have just not wanted to sound crazy. Oh, I see.
Yagami-san.
Yagami-san, does this mean the so-called curse didn't begin until Shimada-kun's father acquired the statue?
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds like it anyway. What's smoke?
Yagami-san!
It's on fire!
Are you serious?
Really? It's a fire extinguisher! Yeah, we got the fire out right away, but we seriously have no idea where it came from. Just whoosh out of nowhere. Glad that didn't get any worse.
It can't
Yagami-san, what do you think started the fire? I have to say, the number of incidents around this cat is getting ridiculous. I don't think this is a coincidence at all anymore. Hang on, do you smell something? Gasoline? Gas? I mean, there's a chance the fire earlier was actually arson.
Yes.
Agreed, Yagami-san. What do you say we search the scene real quick before the police get here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's check and observe for any traces of the area. Keep sharp for anything like gasoline trails or containers. I mean, I see something already.
What the?
What's this? Something was dripping here.
If I were to guess...
Wager it's gasoline based on the color and the smell.
Yeah.
Yeah. It goes to the alley. Let's see if we can track. Plastic bottle inside. More gasoline smell.
Which means...
Does that mean, yep, the fire at the pawn was actually arson? But who's the culprit? And why? No idea. Let's fill in the police and the guy at the pawn shop on what we first found.
Excuse me.
Yagami-san, how should we proceed with the investigation from here? Well, now that we know the fire at the pawn was intentionally set, what I'd love to do is pin down our little firebug.
What?
Pin them down? Pin them down how exactly?
Yeah.
I don't know anything about them, but they're obviously after the statue. Maybe we can just lure them out somehow. Solid enough idea. Where should we start? Suppose just meandering around town ought to do it. Considering how quickly the pawn was hit, I can't imagine it taking long. I see. Some genuine hard-boiled legwork, huh? A lot riskier than my usual investigations.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely going to be more dangerous than I like. That's why you ought to head back to... I think not. Please allow me to continue on the case.
Nah.
Amasawa, this is
Please and thank
I
you.
need to solve this mystery, Yagami-san. Please and thank you.
Gotcha.
Okay, but you really have to be careful and keep your distance when we're in public, okay? I'm basically a walking target magnet carrying around this thing.
Yes.
Yes, I promise. I'll be safe. So, where should we head to first? Preferably somewhere that makes it easier to watch our backs while we kill time. How about we play darts?
What?
You want to play darts? Why? Only one person has to take their eye off their surroundings at a time. If someone does come after us, you can always counter with some darts to the face.
Nah.
Okay. I have to give you points for the overall plan, but... darts to the face? Make no mistake, I'm quite good at the game. My aim's solid enough to be able to hit a human head.
Nope.
So I think it's best if I handled incoming threats. And you can just, don't say that kind of thing to someone. Ever. Ever again. That could literally get you arrested. Right. Well, after you? Well, we're not out here to play games, but... this case also has a pretty big weight on Amasawa. Maybe you do her some good to blow off some steam. Do they have blackjack at this dart place? Do they have blackjack at the dart place? I guess not. House of the Dead, Scarlet Dawn! Oh my god, is that real? Tell me, for the love of God, is that real? I love House of the Dead. Keep your eyes peeled for any suspicious individuals along the way, especially if they're approaching you. I'll be careful. This place is small. We'll definitely see anyone coming for us here. Oh, darts, huh? Yeah, this isn't exactly like... Wait, select my darts. I only have these darts. Yeah, we'll do 300. Yagami versus Amasawa.
Time to step it up.
I'm not gonna hold back.
Oh, this is so very sensitive. That's not terrible. That's pretty bad. Alright, that's not terrible. Let's see how she does. Ha! Ha ha!
Maybe next time.
Oh, damn it, she got me there.
My turn then.
Round 2.
Odds of winning falling.
Nice. Ooh. Oh, not terrible though. Yo, they don't have to show you taking the darts out. Fuck! Oh, good. Why am I bad? Okay.
Okay.
All right, let's do this thing. Damn it. I am fucked. Yes. Double ball! Okay, that's not terrible. That's not terrible.
Not doing so hot.
Oh, shit!
Huh?
My turn then.
Damn.
Odds of winning falling.
Damn it! I had the chance to win, but I will now lose!
No way.
Maybe not. You suck! Shit! Shit! No! You're bad! I hate you! No!
Son of a...
$20 SP is my reward. I lost. Don't give up your day job, Yagami-san. I just see someone's pleased with how this went.
Amasawa.
So, see anyone suspicious? I kind of got into the game and forgot to look around. Oh, come on. You seriously weren't looking? Guess I sort of got into the zone too, though. Looks like the darts didn't make for the best cover activity. We should shift gears. What will work better for us? Good idea. Where can we watch out for potential assailants? How about the batting center?
What?
Why there?
Guess.
We're still able to see anyone approaching us. In fact, that could be even better than darts. If one person does all the batting, the other could observe our surroundings without losing concentration on the game. Even better, a bat makes for an effective defensive weapon than darts.
I see.
I see. I'll handle the defensive part for us, but let's just get over there before something bad can happen to us. This is just playing minigames.
Speaking of burdens, have you been studying for your exams?
That is something I try not to think about too much.
Oh, god damn it. Where am I going for this? I don't know. Where do kids play, you know, the batting cages? Oh my god, it's way the fuck up there.
Obsessing over rote memorization would affect my reasoning skills.
Well, I reason that you shouldn't let your club activities get in the way of your studies.
I admit that's also something I try not to think about.
That doesn't sound like the Amasawa I know. Gotta face the facts sometime.
No, stop it!
Oh, brother.
I can't use the taxi app. It won't let me. I am not. You're just going too slow. And now I had to beat these guys up. Because you were slow, Amasawa! Also because I couldn't take a taxi, because apparently that's just not okay. See, it took me to the first place automatically. Why couldn't it have done that for the second one? Why did I have to manually run? And I can't skateboard, I have to manually run all the way there. I'm not leaving you, I am beating up your potential classmates. I'm really not certain anymore. Your classmates have been taught a lesson about trying to beat up older people. I hope. Maybe. I have found the batting cages, but apparently we have to go inside this. Oh, the actual building. Oh, are you kidding me? Got into so many fights along the way, and like it's fun for me, but I mean like, so just a lot I have to cut out when I get to editing. Nice. Made it safely. Let's get right into it so we don't look suspicious.
Yes.
Right. Acting natural. Alright, Slugger, show me what you got.
Huh?
You're not gonna bat Amasawa? Let's just say I'm more, literally inclined... literary inclined than athletically inclined. Pretty sure even a bookworm can swing a bat. Still, a bit too hard-boiled detective work for my taste. Keep an eye out while I swing a few. Can't have anyone sneaking up on us.
Yes.
Right, leave it to me. Now, this one I have done before. Local legend? Okay, sure. Why not?
Here we go.
I've never been good at this game in Yakuza.
All right.
And I get a home run on my first try! Damn, okay, they made this a lot easier than the previous games.
Nice.
Oh yeah, that was bad. Oh well. Whoo! I got it.
Nice.
That one was tough too.
Yeah.
Whoo! Yeah. Okay. They definitely made this a lot easier than previous. Oh, I didn't even swing at that one. 7 out of 10 ain't bad though.
Hmm?
Oh, are you having an off day?
Nah.
I guess so. Kind of weird. Usually get a few more hits than that. Well, it happens to all of us, I suppose. Great, the bookworm has to make me feel better here. Worked up a sweat in there. Have some water. Oh, thank you.
Hey.
So, any luck on your end? Spot anyone? Yeah, about that. I've seen a few somewhat suspicious people, but no one who seems to be paying us any attention. I see. Why don't we take a short break for now?
Hey.
Hey, Amasawa. Can I ask you something? What is it? Is your grandfather the reason you started the Mystery Research Club?
Yes.
Yes. In fact, he's the reason I grew so obsessed with mysteries in general. I mean, that should make sense. He's been a very big influence in my life. So, do you see yourself becoming a mystery author in the future? I certainly hope so. No, more than that. I believe it's something I must do. Really?
Yes.
Yes. Truth be told, my dream is to complete his unfinished masterpiece.
Oh.
Oh, do you have an unfinished manuscript of his?
Well...
I do. When he passed away, he was in the midst of completing the final entry of his most popular series. He got roughly halfway through the draft, but he didn't write anything about the most critical part, the dual reveal of the culprit and the method.
That being said...
He didn't leave any notes behind to even hint toward what they could be, so no one knows how he meant to finish the book. Sounds like you've got some real work on your hands. Indeed. Although I recently realized something that could be a potential answer to the mystery.
Oh.
Damn, you really are good. I'll have to send you a copy someday for that one. Let me know if you figure it out before you get to the end. Excuse me.
Hey.
Hey, what's going on? Yagami-san, please keep eye contact and pretend we're just chatting.
Huh?
Well...
There's a man across the street who keeps looking at us. There is? Nah, think of it, he was at the arcade, too.
What?
He followed us here?
Yes.
Seems so. He wasn't actually suspicious there at first. But later, when I took off the statue and hid it from his sight, he was looking around in a panic, like he lost sight of something. So you think he's been after us this whole time? Yes, I'd presume so.
Excuse me.
Yagami-san, how about we take a bit of a calculated risk? What do you want to calculate?
Yes.
If I stay here and distract him, would you be willing to slip out and loop back around him? That way, you can catch him before he has a chance to escape.
I see.
Okay, I see. Yeah, that's a solid plan. I'll get over to him real quick. Gotta find the back door first. Nice and calm. No suspicions. Alright, out of sight. Let's go. Definitely he'll definitely see us coming from here. How can I sneak up without getting caught? Oh, collect intel from a distance. Oh god, it wants me to do that. I mean, the simple thing would just be to go around the back. Oh. Nah, he recognized me. Guess he did see Amasawa a few different places. Gotta sneak up on him without getting caught. It's gotta be a way to be extra tough, so he knows there's going. Yes, just he knows what it looks like now. Okay, what does it want me to do? God damn it! How can I collect intel from a distance? What the fuck does it want me to do? There's a fucking car in the way. I can't step out there. I can't. There's nothing I can do. What the fuck, game? God, I hate when it does shit like this. Want me to, like, parkour or something? Like, what do you want from me, game? I don't know. I hate when this game does this. It's like, I have a plan! I, the player, have a plan! But it won't let me execute said plan! I cannot... Oh. Let me try going this way! Oh my god. Does it want me to climb up? I honestly have no fucking clue what the game wants me to do. What does it mean, collect information from a distance, when I can't see him and there's nothing to analyze? God damn it! Okay. So, I spent a lot longer on this than I wanted to. And the answer should have been obvious, and yes, I did look this up. I have to change into a disguise so that I can get closer to him. Alright, that's how it should do. I'll move slowly enough not to caught his attention. Okay.
Hey.
Hey. Hmm? Who are you? Oh, you're with that girl! And you're the firebug at the pawn shop, right?
Yagami-san!
Amasawa, keep away. The cat! The lucky cat. Oh, do you want this? You want it because it's evidence, right? Because of what's still going on? You saw it? You saw it? Hmm? Saw what, pray tell? Is there something on this cat, that could put you away for good, perhaps? What? Excellent bluff, Amasawa. You led him right where you wanted him. What? Hey. Now we have the final confrontation, so... What is it on the cat that could get you in so much trouble, hmm? Try to burn down the pawn shop over this thing. What's on that cat that you need gone so badly? Who knows?
Hey!
Answer us. What do you know about Kitan Amasawa's death? Hey, I said stay back. Huh? Hand it over! What? How? How dare you? There you go, Amasawa. Good job.
Amasawa.
Jeez, Amasawa, I thought you said you weren't suited for hard-boiled work. I suppose I was a bit rambunctious when I was little. still have what it takes to raise a bit of hell when needed. You fuckers! I'm just gonna kill both of you and take the thing! Okay, Amasawa, it's my job from here on. Stay back. Seriously. Oh, I forgot. I forgot blocking does nothing against people with knives. Woo! There we go. Got him.
Hey.
Hey.
Ah.
Great. He's out cold. Well, let's tie him up just in case. That ought to do it. Oh, it's all gross.
Yagami-san.
Yagami-san? Considering how this man reacted to the cat,
If I were to guess...
I believe there's at least one secret to it that we don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, one that neither your family nor the police knew about at the time either.
Yes.
And if that's the case, it's not going to be easy to discover. I can't say that there's absolutely nothing in it. After all, it was one of my grandfather's most cherished, rare possessions.
Yagami-san.
Yagami-san, why don't we give it another, thorough look over? Yeah, good idea.
Hey, suspicious.
There's a slight gap behind the neck.
What?
Really? A gap? That's just one big molded one big molded piece. Look, right there. It's more apparent now that it has mud on it. Must have been from where it got dropped. How odd. Why could it be there? Does it unscrew, maybe?
Hey.
Oh.
What the?
Oh, the eyeball jiggles a little. Actually, I can push it in a bit. You're right. Interesting that the eyes are actually separate parts. Why make something so elaborate? I'm not sure. Jiggly eye and a gap around the neck. Wonder if they have any function.
Which means...
You know, if the eyes and the neck are... Could it be? An eye for the truth will eventually find the way. Hold on to that keen eye and take a look around you.
What was that?
What? Sorry, I just remember my grandfather saying this while holding the cat. He said it with pride, but it always stuck out as somewhat odd to me.
If I were to guess...
Maybe he was giving me a hint all the way back then. A hint of how the cat works?
Yes.
Sometimes he'd give me clues to see if I could pick up on a mystery as sort of a game.
I see.
I see, but what do you think he meant by it? Perhaps we're supposed to hold on to the eye and make the head go around? Look around? Oh. We should hold the loose eye in place and spin the head.
In other words...
Oh, like hold on to the keen eye and make the head take a look around.
Yes.
Okay. Alright, leave it to the wordsmith, huh? Let's say we give it a try. It turned! The arm! Yagami-san, look! Whoa!
It can't be.
It meowed! So it's a trick statue? This thing is just what your grandfather was hinting at. Yes, of course, but no one in my family had any idea it could do that. It appears, yes, it's a secret compartment! It's empty, though. A smudge. No. A fingerprint. Dark red stain all dried up. Is it? Yeah, no mistaking it. That's blood. I'm so screwed.
No way.
Let me guess. That fingerprint's yours? Ugh. And this blood? It belongs to Kitan Amasawa, doesn't it?
Hey!
Answer me! What do you know about this? Kitan Amasawa, my grandfather. Did you have something to do with his death? Your Oh, I see. You're that man's granddaughter, huh? I think his granddaughter will be the one who caught me 7 years later. Please, answer me. Guess there's no getting away with this now. And I'm just so tired. Fine, I'll tell you. Alright, let's hear the truth about what happened to Kitan Amasawa. Finally, Amasawa and the rest of her family can get some closure. The incident 7 years ago. Happened 7 years ago, like you know. I was up past my eyeballs in debt. I needed a lot of money. I needed it by sunrise. That's when I spotted the biggest mansion in the whole neighborhood. Heard some spooky famous author lived there.
It can't be.
So you stuck into the house that night? Yep. The place was huge and all the lights were off. Figured I wasn't getting caught.
That being said...
Rampo was in our yard. Our dog. I'm sure he would have barked at you. You were too busy chowing down on a rice ball I tossed him. Oh, Rampo, sometimes you're too sweet.
Hey.
What'd you do next? I was looking for his study as fast as I could. Assumed all the real goods would either be stashed away or on display there. It was late enough that I figured everyone would be asleep. When I found the study and peeked inside, I saw the old man, just barely, lit up with a candle. He fiddled with the cat's head, opened the thing up, took something out.
What?
What was it? Couldn't believe it. Inside the cat, the old man had a bar of gold.
Huh?
Bar of gold? The way he was grinning at it, I knew it was real. It had to be worth millions. I jumped at him without even thinking. He tussled for a bit, so I grabbed the cat and I whacked him in the head with it. You... how could you? And then he took the gold and ran off. Yeah, thought I was gonna be made for life, damn it. In the end, the goddamn loan shark just swiped it from me and pretended it never happened. How'd you get out? The study was locked when the police arrived. Oh, that? I panicked right after offing the guy. Went from a simple robbery to a potential homicide fast. I made myself focus, came up with an idea. Used the cat's arm gimmick to make the whole thing look like an accident.
Huh?
What do you mean? Let's see. Something should happen any time now. Ah!
Huh?
Closed! Real smart, that old man. Built so it closes back up automatically. I'm spraying up with surprising force. Yep, that's what I used. I see, you rigged it to the window, didn't you? Yep, sounds like the apple didn't fall far from the tree.
Amasawa.
Mind explaining Amasawa?
If I were to guess...
What I imagine happened was, he stacked up some books by the window and put the statue on top, with its arm lowered, mind you. I also assume he arranged the books unsteadily so it would collapse. By placing the cat in the right spot, the paw would shoot upwards and engage the window lock, effectively sealing the room. You know, they're having some really cheery music for the fact that this guy's a cold-blooded murderer. Jesus. Must have slipped out the window after quickly arranging the scene, then waited. Hoping to see the gimmick play out as he had planned before he could be caught. One time around, the paw shot up, whacking the window a lock closed. With enough force to knock over both the cat and the stack of books. And the one was right in front of the spot where my grandfather laid. So he must have looked like my grandfather had fallen and hit his head on the statue.
I see.
I get it now.
Which means...
That gold bar must have been my grandfather's secret savings. Explain why he never told any of us about how the cat worked. Seems why he tried to scare me away from the room if I ever heard it. Meow. Can't blame your family for never finding out. Doubt anyone would have checked for secret treasure before getting rid of what they thought was a regular creepy statue. The curse of the lucky statue all due to a secret my grandfather took to the grave. Finally, I know the truth. As like a mystery writer would hope. Really, it would have been really screwed if you were this smart as a kid. You're still going to prison, asshole. You murdered someone. Reason for wanting the cat.
If I have this right.
Well, you want to get the statue back so you can clean out that compartment? Yeah, that's right. Didn't know for sure there was a fingerprint on it, though.
Hmm?
Really? You mean you did all this just to be cautious? Yep. I was wearing gloves that night, so I wasn't thinking about fingerprints. Once I got away from the scene, I saw a tear in my glove. My finger was covered in blood.
In other words...
You were worried you left some trace at the scene. Later, I read the police ruled his death an accident, so I knew they didn't find any prints. That secret compartment, that could have been a game changer. Solid chance I left it as a trace of being in there. All it'd take is for one person to figure out the statue's secret and I'd be screwed. That's why I tried so hard to get the cat. It fell off the map pretty quickly. 7 whole years, that damn cat's been the one thing on my mind. All of a sudden, about a month ago, saw the frickin' thing on TV. Cat I see in my nightmares all the time. Alright. We did hear that it got an appraisal on TV at some point. Let me tell you, I was shitting myself watching that fancy pants appraiser look it over with a little magnifying glass thing. If he popped that compartment on TV, So you saw the current owner of the statue on the appraisal show. That's when you tried to get it back from him? Right. The truth of the tragedy. Hold on. Does that mean you're the one that caused all the trouble for the Shimada family? Probably, yeah. First I tried sneaking into the place to get it back. The guy just woke up on me. I told him to give me back the cat. He thought I was a ghost and straight up passed out. Well, he did say that he started suffering a mysterious illness that night. A high fever, to be specific. Fever? No, that's no mystery. I had a cold that night. Must have given it to him. Well, I suppose that explains that part. So you're not just responsible for getting the guy sick. You tried to burn their house down too, didn't you? Well,
If I were to guess...
Since the intimidation failed, you thought you could just resort to torching the evidence. Civilians be damned. You're the one who tried to run over Shimada-san too? One who caused the accident outside the cafe the other day? It was literally today? Huh. You really are good, kid. Figured if the owner died, the family would just get creeped out as the last one get rid of the thing, you know?
Nah.
What a scumbag. Then what about Shimada-kun's grades dropping? Huh? What about what? Guess it doesn't have anything to do with that one. Fear makes mountain and molehills. Because they were so convinced misfortune would befall them, even the most harmless thing were perceived as part of the curse. Yeah, there you go. Asshole. Still can't believe the statue had a secret compartment the whole time. Let alone a gold bar at one point. At least I can finally chalk a non-supernatural cause up to the meowing I heard that night.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point. If you think about it, the curse attached to the statue was just another layer of secrecy for my grandfather. Not only does it have a secret compartment with a gimmick to opening it, but it has an ominous story surrounding it, designed to drive people away. Perhaps this amused my grandfather enough to make it one of his cherished possessions. I can see that.
Amasawa.
At any rate, Amasawa. Glad you were able to get the bottom of what really happened to your grandfather. And get his murderer, arrested. They're not really focusing on that much. It's a little disturbing.
Yes.
I agree. Truly. Why do we have happy music right now? It makes no sense. I can't tell you the weight that's been lifted off my shoulders. Okay, that's better. And it's all thanks to you, Yagami-san. I don't know. You were really sharp on this case, Amasawa.
Huh?
What? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. You only figured out the trick to opening the cat. Not only that, you solved the locker room murder right after learning who did it. That's true, but still. You know what, Amasawa? Sort of feel like your grandfather was hoping you'd solve the statue's mystery all along. Think about it. Why else would he ask you a riddle about the statue while holding it, if you wanted to keep it a secret to everyone?
What?
Even with what was in it? If I'll solve that mystery, I'd find out what's inside. Well, maybe it was meant to be a gift for you, like a prize. Word to a full-grown detective, Kyoko Amasawa. I see. So when I don't fall victim to lies and push past the fear, I can find a glimpse of the truth. That definitely sounds like my grandfather. The gold might be gone, but you still grew to be a fine detective and solved a genuine mystery, just like your grandfather predicted. Sure he's proud of you wherever he is. I sure hope so. That was nice. Well, Grandpa, are you? Alrighty. I think I've probably... Wait, did I not kill enough time? Are you killing... Are you killing me? Are you kidding me? I have to kill more time? Oh my god, how long did Saori-san take for this? Maybe I just need to leave the school. Maybe that'll do it. Nope, apparently I gotta kill even more time. Okay, I guess I'll go to Tsukumo's, and because that's something about Tsukumo having a thing to do, so I guess we'll try that next episode and see if that does it for us. But either way, I definitely went over time because of that fucking, like, have to wear a disguise bullshit. So, yeah, either way, thank you everybody so much for watching. I appreciate you being here with me. Next time we're gonna kill some more time. Maybe I can kill more time by doing stuff in the school stories. I'm not really certain. I'm not sure. I'll try the Tsukumo thing, and if it still doesn't tell me that I'm done after that, then I will go and try, like, you know, more of the school stories. But either way, thanks again, and as always, if you enjoyed this as much as I did, you know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe if you were not already. Ring that bell for all them notifications and until next time, have yourselves a beautiful day, my beautiful, beautiful viewers.